The Gardener's Song. First, the Father's planting. Soft the hands that hung the stars above. Now touch the earth with tenderness and love. Each motion measured, every placement sure, as heaven stoops to make earth's joy secure. Then bursts the glory of his garden's birth. Love divine takes root in waiting earth. Second, the sacred rising. Morning mists caress each planted way, where footsteps soon will mark each coming day, through paths where peace will guide beloved feet, where father's heart and child's heart sweetly meet. Then rises up the symphony of life, where planted glory cuts like heaven's knife. Third, the living spaces. Watch his fingers shape each gentle hill, where waters flow and morning birds will trill. Each tree he plants holds wisdom in its shade. Each flower speaks of beauty he has made. Then crashes in the thunder of his care, as Eden's wonder splits the trembling air. Fourth, the eastern gates. Toward rising light he sets his garden fair, where dawn's first whisper touches morning air, each pathway leading to the place of light, where day eternal conquers ancient night. Then roars the power of his chosen way, where east meets west in heaven's burning day. Fifth, the sacred union. Here dust and deity will walk as one, through gardens fashioned by the holy sun. No veil between, no separation stands, in spaces shaped by love's creating hands. Then shakes the earth with joy's eternal sound, as heaven's glory claims this holy ground. Sixth, the Father's purpose. Behold the home his heart has longed to share, where child and father breathe love's common air. Each plant, each stream, each path his love designed, to shape the space where hearts would be entwined. Then breaks the final wall of time and space, as garden glory shows his burning face. The parchment ignites in holy flame as the final crescendo echoes through eternity.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 8. King James Version. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. 1. The personal act of planting reveals a profound shift in divine creative method. While the universe came into being through spoken word, here we see Yahovah Elohim engaging in direct, physical cultivation of the earth. This personal involvement demonstrates a level of care and intention that transcends mere creation. It shows intimate preparation of space designed for relationship. The Hebrew root nāṭaʿ carries deeper meaning than simple planting. It speaks of establishing, fixing, and creating permanent foundations. When Yahovah Elohim plants, he isn't merely setting vegetation in soil. He is establishing something meant to last, creating an environment with purpose and permanence. This divine planting creates both physical reality and spiritual significance through the same action. The physical establishment through nāṭaʿ involves careful selection and placement of each element. Like a master gardener who understands soil conditions, light requirements, and growth patterns, Yahovah Elohim demonstrates perfect knowledge in his planting. Every tree, every plant, every feature of the garden is positioned with exact purpose. Nothing is random or merely decorative. Each element serves both practical provision and spiritual significance. This purposeful fixing extends beyond initial placement. The divine planting creates systems and cycles meant to sustain life and growth over time. Yahovah Elohim establishes patterns of fertility, growth, and renewal that will continue through generations. His planting includes provision for ongoing development and flourishing, demonstrating care not just for the present moment, but for future possibilities. The creation of permanent foundation through this planting reveals divine intention for lasting relationship. Yahovah Elohim isn't creating a temporary space, but establishing an enduring environment where communion between Creator and created can flourish. Every aspect of this foundation supports the ultimate purpose: intimate relationship between God and humanity. 2. The intimate Creator reveals himself through actions that demonstrate profound personal care. While most of creation emerges through divine speech, here we witness Yahovah Elohim choosing direct involvement in preparing a space for his newly formed child. This shift from spoken command to hands-on cultivation shows a creator who desires close relationship with humanity. The contrast between spoken creation and personal involvement carries deep significance. Earlier, Yahovah Elohim called forth light, land, and living creatures through the power of his word. Now, he stoops to work the soil directly, showing that humanity holds a special place in his heart. This choice of intimate involvement rather than distant command reveals the kind of relationship he desires with those made in his image. Divine hands in the soil paint a picture of incredible tenderness and care. The same hands that formed man from dust now work that dust again, this time creating an environment perfectly suited for human flourishing. Each movement of these divine hands shapes not just a garden, but a home, a space where God and man can share life together. Yahovah Elohim's willingness to engage with the earth directly demonstrates both his humility and his deep love for humanity. The Father's care shows in every detail of this preparation. Like a parent preparing a nursery before their child arrives, Yahovah Elohim thinks of everything his human creation will need, not just for survival, but for joy, growth, and relationship. This careful preparation includes provision for physical needs, but extends far beyond, creating spaces for walking together, sharing conversations, and growing an understanding of divine love. Through these actions, we see a creator who chooses the path of closest possible involvement with his creation. Yahovah Elohim's personal touch in preparing humanity's first home reveals his desire for intimate relationship from the very beginning. 3. The divine direction carries profound meaning beyond mere geographic orientation. When Yahovah Elohim plants the garden eastward, he establishes both physical location and spiritual significance. This direction, expressed through the Hebrew qeḍem, points toward the place where each new day dawns and light first touches creation, setting a pattern of anticipation and meeting. Eastward represents the direction of meeting, where creation daily encounters its creator. Like the sun rising to illuminate the world, this orientation speaks of divine revelation and the promise of encounter. Yahovah Elohim establishes this direction not randomly, but with purpose, creating a space where heaven and earth are perfectly positioned to meet. This eastern focus becomes the first compass point of divine-human relationship. The place of beginning holds deeper significance than simple origin. In choosing the east, Yahovah Elohim connects this garden to the concept of origins and fresh starts. Each sunrise would remind humanity of both creation's beginning and the constant renewal of divine presence. This eastern garden becomes the starting point from which human relationship with God would grow and flourish, like dawn spreading light across the morning sky. Facing the dawn creates a permanent pattern of anticipation and hope. Yahovah Elohim orients his garden toward the direction where light first appears, establishing a daily reminder of his faithful presence. This orientation means that every morning, as light touches the garden, it recreates that first moment of divine human meeting. The eastern focus ensures that inhabitants of the garden would naturally face toward coming light, toward divine revelation, toward the promise of God's appearing. Through this divine direction, we see Yahovah Elohim establishing patterns that would shape humanity's understanding of both space and time. The eastern orientation becomes more than geography. It becomes eternal truth written in direction, teaching his ways through daily cycles of light. 4. The spiritual significance of eastward planting reveals pure, unfiltered truth through natural pattern. When Yahovah Elohim orients the garden toward the rising sun, he writes understanding into the very direction of life. This direct teaching through creation's design, each sunrise demonstrates eternal reality. Movement toward light becomes more than physical direction. It establishes the pattern of how beings created from dust naturally turn toward their Creator. This eastern focus shows humanity's intended orientation toward divine presence. This is the reality of creation responding to its Maker, written into the very structure of life. The path to encounter flows naturally from this divine design. Each morning, as light first touches the garden from the east, it recreates that original meeting between God and man. This direct communion is established through the created order. The eastern entrance ensures every approach to the garden follows this path of direct encounter, teaching truth through simple movement. Direction of purpose shines clear through this eastern focus. Like rivers flowing to the sea, like birds knowing their migration paths, this orientation shows humanity their intended way. Yahovah Elohim builds understanding into the very landscape through natural patterns. Every sunrise reinforces this teaching. Every dawn demonstrates divine reality. Through this divine positioning, we see pure relationship established in space itself. This simple, profound teaching written into the direction of life. The garden's eastern orientation reveals eternal truth through daily reality, creator and created meeting face to face in the light of each new day. 5. The place of delight shows God's heart toward humanity through direct experience. When Yahovah Elohim establishes Eden, he creates an environment where pleasure itself becomes the natural language of relationship. This isn't human-defined luxury, but rather divine delight made tangible through created reality. The meaning of pleasure in Eden transcends our limited understanding of earthly enjoyment. Here, in this garden of God's own planting, delight becomes the pure expression of Creator and created in harmony. Like a father delighting in preparing special gifts for his child, Yahovah Elohim fills this space with experiences that awaken joy and wonder. This delight isn't self-focused indulgence, but rather the natural response to divine presence and provision. Luxury and refinement in Eden bear little resemblance to human concepts of wealth or status. This is the refinement of perfect relationship, the luxury of unhindered communion with God. Every carefully chosen tree, every thoughtfully placed feature serves to create an environment where delight flows naturally from divine presence. Yahovah Elohim crafts each detail to foster joy in relationship, showing that delight itself was part of his original design for humanity. Divine delight reveals itself through Eden's very nature. This garden expresses God's joy in creating space for relationship with humanity. Like an artist pouring love into their masterpiece, Yahovah Elohim fills Eden with touches that demonstrate his delight in human company. This is the warm, living reality of a space designed for shared joy between Creator and created. Through Eden, we see that delight was God's idea first, pure expressions of relationship. The garden becomes the setting where divine joy meets human experience in perfect natural harmony. 6. The purpose of Eden reveals divine intention written into physical space. When Yahovah Elohim establishes this garden, he creates more than vegetation and landscape. He shapes an environment perfectly designed for deep relationship. Each feature, from the smallest flower to the grandest tree, serves to nurture connection between creator and created. Environment for fellowship emerges through thoughtful design. Yahovah Elohim arranges every element to support natural interaction and shared experience. Flowing waters provide places of peaceful conversation. Fruit-bearing trees offer opportunities for shared sustenance, and carefully placed paths invite walking together. This isn't random arrangement, but purposeful creation of space where fellowship flourishes naturally. Space for growth shows divine understanding of human development. The garden provides endless opportunities for learning through direct experience with creation. Yahovah Elohim fills Eden with varieties of plants, creatures, and natural wonders that spark curiosity and investigation. Each discovery leads to deeper understanding of both creation and creator, allowing wisdom to develop through relationship rather than instruction. Home for communion stands as Eden's highest purpose. Yahovah Elohim creates this space specifically for sharing life with humanity. Every aspect supports intimate relationship. Morning walks in the garden, shared delight in new discoveries, quiet moments of simple togetherness. The garden becomes the setting where supernatural relationship feels completely natural, where creator and created experience the joy of genuine communion. Through Eden's purpose, we see Yahovah Elohim establishing patterns of relationship that would shape all human understanding of connection with him. This garden home demonstrates how physical space can support spiritual relationship, how created reality can foster genuine communion between God and humanity. 7. Divine intent shines through every aspect of Yahovah Elohim's garden planting. Unlike the vast celestial expanses spoken into being, this intimate space receives direct, personal attention from the Creator's hands. Each movement reveals purposeful preparation, like a father eagerly crafting the perfect environment for his beloved child's arrival and growth. Creating family space shows in the careful arrangement of every detail. Yahovah Elohim designs this garden not as a showcase of power, but as a home for genuine connection. Each tree planted, each stream directed, each pathway formed serves to create an environment where family relationship can flourish naturally. This careful crafting reveals the Creator's heart. He prepares this space not as a distant sovereign, but as a father longing for close communion with his children. Preparing child's home demonstrates profound understanding of human needs and nature. Yahovah Elohim includes everything necessary for both physical provision and spiritual nurture. Like a parent thoughtfully furnishing rooms for their expected child, he ensures the garden contains all that humanity will need to grow and thrive. Every plant bearing food, every beautiful flower, every peaceful grove shows consideration for both necessity and delight. Planning for relationship reveals itself in how the garden spaces flow together. Yahovah Elohim creates settings that naturally encourage interaction and shared experience. Walking paths invite conversation. Quiet gardens provide space for peaceful communion. An abundant provision eliminates worry, so focus can remain on relationship. Each aspect of Eden's design points toward its ultimate purpose, fostering deep, lasting connection between creator and created. Through this divine intent, we see Yahovah Elohim's primary purpose, creating space where supernatural relationship can develop naturally. Eden becomes more than a garden. It transforms into the first home designed specifically for God and humanity to share life together. 8. Personal care flows through every detail of the garden's formation. Yahovah Elohim approaches this creation with intimate attention that reveals his heart toward humanity. While he could simply speak paradise into existence, he chooses instead to plant each element personally, demonstrating care through direct involvement in preparing this space for his newly formed child. Attention to detail shows in every aspect of the garden's design. Yahovah Elohim considers not just broad needs, but the smallest elements that make a space feel like home. Each plant positioned to catch the right amount of light, every pathway curved to reveal beauty around each bend, all water features placed to provide both refreshment and peaceful sounds. This careful attention demonstrates understanding of both physical needs and the subtle elements that create an environment of peace and joy. Thoughtful design emerges in how all these details work together in harmony. Yahovah Elohim doesn't just collect pleasant elements, but weaves them into a coherent whole that nurtures life and relationship. Like an artist composing a masterpiece, he considers how each element relates to others, how spaces flow together, how the whole environment serves to support genuine connection between creator and created. This thoughtfulness extends beyond mere function to create beauty that inspires wonder and delight. Love in action demonstrates itself through Yahovah Elohim's hands-on involvement in every aspect of the garden's creation. This isn't delegation to lesser beings, but direct personal work in preparing space for his child. Each planted tree, each shaped pathway, each crafted feature comes from the hands of the Creator himself, showing love through the choice to be personally involved in creating humanity's first home. Through this personal care, we see the depths of Yahovah Elohim's commitment to relationship with humanity. His attention to detail, thoughtful design, and loving action combine to create an environment where supernatural connection can flourish naturally.